earlier this week is that I'm trying to set a better morning routine. And I've always told myself I'm not a morning person, but I'm not a night owl either. I like a slow morning and all of these stupid things that I've told myself. And then I was like, well, I can't wait for the weekend because then I don't have to worry about an alarm and I can sleep in. Well, what am I escaping from? Saturday should just be as phenomenal. Monday should be just as phenomenal. Monday through Friday should be just as phenomenal. What am I doing? I don't have to escape anymore.
At some point, you realize the numbers you're hitting aren't measuring the life you're living. Welcome to Quit the Quota. I'm Darryl and Miedico.
And I am Marya Ryan. This is the podcast for professionals, especially sales professionals, who've done what they were supposed to do and still found themselves questioning whether that version of success really fits.
Each episode features honest conversations with people who stepped outside the traditional mold, along with reflections from our own years in the corporate world.
Quit the Quota isn't about quitting ambition. It's about defining success on your terms. Happy Friday, Darryl.
Happy Friday. What are you doing today? What you been up to?
What have I been up to? Well, I called a lead yesterday that I thought was dead, and sure enough, it's not dead. So I have some goals that I'm looking to get to, and I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna take some action. It was at the end of the day too, which is like usually when you're like, I'm winding down, I'm kind of done. I was like,
Yeah.
no, just do one more. And she's real close to sign on the dotted line. So
So
real cool.
you thought it was dead,
I did.
and walk me through end of the day.
End of the day.
Walk
Yep.
me through what got you thinking like I got to reach out to this person. Where'd this come from?
So I've been really focusing a lot on what I want out of life, financial goals, career goals, all kinds of things. And I have been spending a lot of time, some of the stuff that we talk about here, right? Being persistent with visualizing. And you can't just sit there and visualize, and you can't just wait for it to show up. And I was like, you got to just do one more, Marya. In order to like trick my subconscious, which is fighting against me to just shut the laptop. And my son was home and he was building a project for me. I was like, go down and hang out with him. And I was like, no, I think you need to make a phone call. Yep, you do need to make a phone call. So I started to look through my lead tracker, and I was like, huh, I talked to this girl. Actually, I didn't talk to her. I sent her an email, sent her some texts. She hasn't responded, but she was looking for some help. I'm going to give her a call. I'm calling Heather. I'm like, okay. So I called her. Sure enough, we had a conversation, and it blew her mind. And she was like, I literally was pivoting my life because of not knowing what to do. And so if nothing else, we had a phenomenal conversation and it gave me momentum. And then I made one more reach out and just did a little bit more action. And, that's kind
So
of what,
cool.
yeah, isn't it?
So cool. So you had a moment of like something speaking to your subconscious, something
Yeah.
speaking to your energy
Oh, yeah.
that I have to do one more. I have to do something else. Like, and then
I just
you
felt
heard
it.
it, you accepted the idea,
Yep. I
and
was like,
then
you just got to do it.
I'm going to make another call. And then you just open up your lead tracker.
Yep.
And then
That was
did
it.
that name pop out kind of right away, or like,
I scanned through it, but I had a feeling that I should call her.
okay.
And it was really interesting because the more time that I'm spending in visualizing what I want, I'm starting to have a little bit more intuition, I would say. It's kind of
Mhm.
like talking to me. And so I was like, I just felt like I could call these others. Now just circle back. The last time that I did action, nothing happened. So just try one more time
Yep.
before I click it and mark it. It's totally cold.
Yep.
Yeah. Not weird?
Um, it used to be a weird concept to me, but I love that. We weren't even planning on talking about this today. So, but
Total pivot.
I have come to realize, and this is through study and through mentorship, that we are all matter and energy. That's all we are. That's what you are. That's what I am. That's what, my dog is. That's what the tree is that I'm looking at over
That's
here.
the microphone.
Microphone, right? Matter
Yep.
and energy. Okay. And
Yeah.
so physical matter and
Mhm.
energy. And our energy, right? However you want to describe it, is absolutely interconnected in this universe. You can
100%.
say it's a universal energy. You can take it, if you're religious, you can take it into a religious realm. Okay, you can take it any way you want to take it, right? But the
Right.
reality is that we all have energy and we all share energy, right? Think about when you're around people that are happy and upbeat and positive, right? You tend to be more positive.
Oh,
If you
absolutely.
are around negative people, right? Same thing. If you're in athletics and you play with, someone that's better, generally
Yep.
speaking, your game gets better,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
If you play with
100%.
someone worse or a team against a team that's worse, right? You come down and typically play to the level, right? Or you give the energy that you receive, and you receive the energy that you give, right?
Mhm.
And so you had a moment there where that energy
Oh,
and
yeah.
that there something was speaking to you on a subconscious level.
Yep.
You accepted that idea of,
Sure
okay,
did.
something's speaking to me. I don't know what this is. If something's speaking to me,
Exactly.
I'm going to make one more call. And
Mhm.
then on a subconscious level, you saw a
Mhm.
name,
I
and
did. Yeah.
that name in that moment happened to be thinking about, maybe not specifically you, but was thinking about, man, I got to pivot. I got to do something different here. This isn't working.
Yep.
If
Isn't that
that's not
it's
if
so
that's not a
cool.
sign of a universal energy, I don't know
Yep.
what is.
Yeah. It was so powerful, and it was funny because as, it was ringing, and then, um, she had a voicemail, where you leave your name and your and who you are, and then it says, "Oh, I will try to see if someone's available." And I was like, "Oh, this is gonna," at first I was like, and then she came on and she was like, "Hello?" And we talked for like an hour, and she just you could feel her gratitude. You could feel, I try to keep some of those initial intro calls a little bit shorter, but it just felt right, so I just kept going. And then that made me more energetic,
Yes.
right? Because
Yes.
I felt like I was helping her. I was giving her something back. All because I have this one goal that I want to reach. Well, I've got multiple goals, but I have a one bigger goal, which is pushing me to do some activity to kind of picture it and visualize it and journal about it and speak about it, call it out loud. Like I'll speak about it out loud, and then that translated into, well, in order, you can't just think about it, you got to take some action. So I did. And then it just continued. It's almost like this, I received, I grew a little bit more, I pushed myself a little bit more, and then I was able to give. And then it's like, then I received her positivity. It was this really cool loop. And I still feel it today.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Super
That
cool.
actually will be a decent segue in what I did want to talk about today.
Awesome.
Is about that, concept of, you know, uh, the importance of energy, the importance of, what it means, right, to follow your desires, follow your dreams, live life on your terms.
Yeah.
Um, and and how, what I'll start with is how, if you don't, it can really cause some negativity. Um,
Hmm.
Subliminal, just an overall just feeling, right? So
Right.
earlier this week, I had one of our staff members who is a contractor for us reach out to me and said, "I want to get more involved in your business." And I'll go into
Love that.
detail. I love it too because she does a phenomenal job, and I would love for her to get more involved in the business as well. So I can talk more about that as well. She more so supports Ashley,
Hmm.
um, but um, but she's just like, what else can I do? What else? And I was really humbled, because, and this is important stuff right here. She shared with me, and she said to me, she goes, uh, "I hope this doesn't come across as cheesy."
I
She
like
goes,
cheese. I
"I
like
love
cheesy.
it. Yeah,
Bring it
yeah,
on.
this is great." She said, all my career, all my life, I have known, okay, that jobs and going to work is a negative thing. It's a
Hmm.
negative thing. This is what she was sharing with me. She said, just as a kid, paradigms, we've talked about this numerous times,
Yep.
paradigms. As a kid, I remember my parents going to work and they didn't want to go to work. When they
Right.
came home, they were upset
Mm.
and it caused, right? Now, this is me. That was her speaking. Now, this is me receiving it and hearing it.
Yep.
It caused her as a kid to have a paradigm around the concept of work and that it's a negative thing. You have to do it, but it's negative. And for her, she
Hmm.
shared with me, I didn't fully know this, that, you know, she had a lot of jobs in her career that were um, just with bad leadership,
Yeah.
negative. And I challenged her a little bit in the moment. And I said, "Do you think that I go, believe me, there's plenty of bad leaders out there. I get that." I said, "But do you think that maybe part of that too was how you felt about your work and what you had to do, whether you wanted to do it or not, or you wanted to be there or not, if you're
Right.
following your dreams?" Do you think that maybe part of it was just your energy and what And she goes, "Absolutely, absolutely." She was like fully on board for that. But what she shared with me, and this was the humbling part, really humbling, is she said, "I want to get more involved with you and your businesses because what you and Ashley and the team, what you guys put together is the exact opposite of everything I've known
Oof.
to this point in my life."
What a compliment, huh?
I mean, like I said, I was humbled. I was really,
Yeah.
really humbled because this whole thing for me personally, and for those that I'm connected to, whether it's they're a staff member or a contractor or a client or a coaching client, right, a coaching student or a consulting client or management client, whatever, right? Anyone that I'm connected to, the whole thing that I'm doing here in my mind, like you just said, right, is putting out and giving more from a value and energy perspective, because I'm truly loving what I'm doing, right? And
Right.
I want others to be able to share and enjoy that same thing, the
Right.
same feeling. And to hear that from her was just really freaking cool. Like,
That's so awesome.
um,
Plus, it's a validating comment, right?
yeah,
To see that what you've been doing, what you've been putting into place is actually come to fruition enough that it's impacting another person besides just your immediate family, your immediate circle.
1000%. So it got me thinking for today, just to have a quick discussion around it. I don't think we don't have to spend too much time on it, but maybe we'll do a few parts to it. But the importance for the listeners, those that are listening in on this, and you know, trying to conceptualize what a change would mean, right?
Mhm.
Um, the overall importance in this moment of, if you feel like something is off, right?
Mhm.
You got to take the jump. You got to make the change. And not just for you, right? But think about this example that I've given, right? She acknowledged that she started to feel this way because of what she witnessed with her parents.
Right, right.
So
So
if you
you just started to believe it. It's like, I was I just one quick comment because I was thinking about this earlier this week, is that I'm trying to set a better, morning routine, and I've always told myself I'm not a morning person, but I'm not a night owl either. I like a slow morning and all of these stupid things that I've told myself. And then I was like, well, I can't wait for the weekend because then I don't have to worry about an alarm and I can sleep in. Well, what am I escaping from? Saturday should just be as Monday should be just as phenomenal. Monday through Friday should be
Yeah,
just as phenomenal. What am I doing?
yep,
I don't have to escape anymore. It used to be that way, right? Because I as well was in a situation similar to how she's sharing that I want to get away from this. Work's terrible. It's horrible. It's stressful. I'm exhausted, the whole thing. Interesting, right? I'm
Yep.
like, "No, get up in the morning on Saturday. Why are you sleeping in on Saturday? The world's halfway done. Get going." You
Heck
know?
yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So,
So it's amazing what, and I almost liken it to, I remember there was a stand-up comedian. I'll probably age myself here a little bit. Remember Dane Cook?
yes.
All right. Dane Cook had this whole bit of like, you know, I forget how the whole thing went, but the part that I remember was, oh, I can't leave. It's like if you're dating someone, oh, I can't leave them. I can't leave them. All your friends are like, you got to leave this person. You got to leave
Yeah.
them, and you're like, I can't leave them. My CDs are in his car, or my CDs are in her car. Right? The most
Yeah.
idiotic reason when you really think
Yep.
about it. Right?
Right?
But in the moment, right?
You
It's
make
like
the
like like
excuse.
like that. I got 50 CDs in there. That's whatever it was. CD cost back in the
Oh, yeah. A
$10.
lot.
I got $500 worth of CDs in that car. I can't leave him or I can't leave her. Right? Whatever. Right? So
Yeah.
that was his whole bit about that. But it really makes me think when it comes to your careers,
Okay.
right? And your W-2s and what you're doing today.
Yeah.
You'll make reasons of why you can't leave. And ultimately, you are significantly negatively impacting yourself and those around you if you do not dream and if you do not explore and accept those dreams and accept those ideas and go after them to the point where your life will be less fulfilled,
100%.
and those who are most close to you,
Mhm.
you're going to negatively impact them. So that was the big takeaway for me in the moment was
Wow.
wow, like first of all extremely humbling, right? But
Right.
then also, this is what it's all about, right? So
Mhm.
if you are going off and you're considering making this jump and building a life for yourself through entrepreneurship and whatever that could be for you, yeah, you know, it's certainly for you initially, right?
Yep.
Maybe, right? But then it starts to evolve, at least for most people. It's like, how many lives can I change? Who else can I share this with? Who else can I push to do this? All right, to
Right.
live their
Right.
life by their design.
Right.
Um,
And
and
now
I
you're
just
supporting her. She wasn't even on the radar when you
100%,
started this. You had no idea that she was gonna be part of the team.
100%. And she's a contractor. We'd had a great conversation. I said to her, this was my exact response, right? And this for any leader out there, whether you're leading a sales organization or you're a leader in a business or you have your own business, whatever, right?
Yep.
Like remove the guardrails. So I said to her, I go, well, what do you want to do? I would love for you. Like, she's a great person, and she lives in the same town that we live in, and her husband's a phenomenal guy, and just they're a great family. And I said to her, I go, well, what do you want to do? And she's like, I'm not even sure. So then I'm like, all right. And I threw an idea at her. I said, and I was thinking, we could
Yep.
definitely use more sales help. Right? It's like
Yep.
you can always use more
Oh,
sales help.
yeah.
And
Pick up that phone, baby.
and I've got the operations engine going pretty good. I'm like, all right, well, we could use more sales help, and Ashley could use some more help. So that's kind of what I would foresee. And I kind of talked her through that, and I could tell that was falling flat. She's like, I've never been a salesperson. I don't think I'd want to do it. There's some limiting beliefs there, and I share that with her in the moment. But I said honestly, I wouldn't try to put a square peg in a round hole. So
Yeah.
if that's just
That's
not
not your
you,
desire, and
yeah.
that's okay. Let's find
So
something that works for you.
bingo. So what I encouraged her to do, and this is the takeaway for anyone listening that's in a leadership role, I said, I want you over the next few days, and tell me when it's done, to write out a one pager
Mhm.
around if you could do anything in this world for a day-to-day job. Forget about my business, forget about
Right.
anything. Take away if you could just do anything that you wanted to do, what would it be? And I said to her, this was for Stay Space, right? So I said to her, I go, now, because it's for this particular part of the business. I said, then I'm going to guess that there'll be some intertangled things in there that,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
it'll be more stay space related. I go, but if it's not, that's okay.
Yeah.
I said, let's have you outline what a perfect day is, what a perfect job is, what a perfect career would be, how much money you're making, what you're doing, who you're speaking to, what your projects look like. Really,
Yep.
really deep, get really granular on it. I
Love
said,
that.
let your mind just imagine, let your mind flow. I said, and then when that's done, I said, bring that to me. We'll have another meeting. I said, and we'll see if we can put together something like that.
Awesome. Yeah. And if it's not exact, you have at least a path. Maybe we're the bridge. Maybe she starts to expand a little bit, um, because nothing happens. I mean, it can actually, you can collapse time pretty quickly, but nothing happens overnight. But at least she has a goal to focus on.
Yes.
And the other thing I wanted to say, because you mentioned earlier about, not making a decision. Not making a decision is still making a decision. If you're deciding not to do something and you're like, I'll decide later. I mean, same thing in sales, right? Like, I need to think about it. I'll make a decision later. You're making the decision right now. You're making the decision to not do it. So, yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I can't wait to hear what her list is.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
It's gonna be awesome.
I can't wait. So that was pretty neat. It was, like I said, it was humbling. It was exciting. And it really got me thinking, got my wheels turning around. This
Yeah,
is what it's all about right now. Right.
yeah,
Um, certainly amongst my business, but then specifically, the whole purpose of this show and what
yeah,
we're doing here is to just get to a broader audience and say, if you have these paradigms, if you have this feeling of, why am I here? I don't even enjoy this. I
right.
make decent money at it, but it just
It's keeping the lights on. It's paying the bills.
I don't like the company I work for. I don't like my
Yeah,
leader. I don't like my boss.
I don't
Right? I
align with
have
your
this
values.
idea, or I don't even have
Mhm.
an idea. Right? She doesn't have an idea. like
That's
like like
okay. You don't need to know the how.
exactly. She just knows. Like, she does a couple other things aside from working with us, and she just knows that, like, one of those in particular, she's not fulfilled with.
Yeah,
She's just not fulfilled. She's like, I don't want to do that. I'm not fulfilled with it. I don't like it. I would like to do much, much more with you guys.
because we're
Right.
creating the environment. So entrepreneurs that are out there that are just starting, be excited about that you get to now call the shots. You get to get a person that's gonna come along and you can be Darryl and be like, "Dang, I'm actually doing this. I'm actually recreating something that I wanted," because I'm telling you, Darryl and I have had terrible environments that we've worked in. And it sucks the life out of you. It is you do hate it and you do wait for the weekend and it is a reprieve.
Yeah. The best part of truly the best part of what I get to do now is that I get to dictate the vision and dictate the culture of my businesses, of my organization, right?
How cool
So
is that?
I
So
remember being in sales organizations in, mid-level management,
mhm.
and just you had to deliver a message to your team that you did not agree with.
Right. Yeah.
And you had to defend it. You had to
Mhm.
put on the smile and say, "Here's why it's great for the company." And you know, and
Drinking
it's
the
funny,
Kool-Aid.
as I evolved as a leader, like when I f- one of my one of my first like real leadership positions, I was very much that.
Mhm.
As I evolved as a leader, I got much more transparent with my team, much more transparent. And if I didn't believe in something, I wouldn't come out and torpedo my company. I certainly would never do that. But I would definitely be more empathetic and say, totally understand what you're saying. I know where you're coming from. It is kind of a pain, whatever it is. I'm just making up a
Right, yeah, yeah,
hypothetical.
yeah.
It is
Yep.
kind of a pain in the butt. Here's why it's important to the company. The best thing that we can do is put our best foot forward,
Right.
do it.
Right. Right.
We may not like it, but do it. And,
Yep.
I'll continue to give feedback to senior level management that,
That's
here's
right.
what we're seeing. But and even that, I just like, there were times where I would be on the other end of it saying to senior level management, this is not the right path. We shouldn't be doing this,
Right.
and whatever the example is. And Now, you know, I can dictate that for good, bad, better, or worse. It's not all,
No, but
rainbows and puppy dogs and sunshine every
you're
day.
holding the reins. You're holding the reins, and that's the cool part, right?
Yeah.
And you're no longer just a cog in someone else's wheel. And yeah, I mean, I love how this conversation went. Some really cool themes, like I shared from the beginning. Just make that one extra call, do the one extra action, and if you're feeling it, just trust it. Just trust it. Just do it. And if you're like, this is weird, yeah, we like weird, and you're gonna hear that more and more. Weird
Yeah.
is good. And
Yes.
then build your own. Make the decision to take your own to make your own path, to be your own leader, make your own path, and then you're going to start to impact other lives without you even realizing it, to serve. So, super cool.
So good.
Wow. Love that. Great stories. Please contact us if you are curious in learning more. Really, though, we'd love to share more stories of folks that are quitting their quotas, that are, blazing trails of their own kind, and we'd love to have you as a guest on the show. So thank you so much. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Darryl, have a good weekend.
Have a great
And
weekend, Marya. Talk to you later.
hey, we'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
We'd love to hear your story on how you quit the quota. So please reach out so we can feature your story.